back to social class, my dear children. So we were discussing about the permanent settlement. Yes. So who introduced this permanent settlement? Permanent settlement was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. Okay. So through the system, this ensures a regular flow of revenue into the company's coffers, and at the same time encourage the zamindars to invest in improving the land. So this system is introduced to improve the agriculture as well as to improve the British economy. So what is the system now? The local zamindar was to collect the revenue from the peasants and pay on time to the company even if the crops failed due to flood or drought. Otherwise the land would be auctioned off, that means taken away. This led to emergence of new class of absentee landlords. Okay, so that means what happened? The merchants and traders owned their lands in villages, but they lived in the towns. Okay, so they were only tax collectors and land owners. Okay, so they didn't cultivate any crops. Who cultivated the crops then? The peasants. Okay, so whatever remained with the zamindar after paying the revenue was his profit. So let us discuss about the problems of this permanent settlement. Okay, the permanent settlement however created problems. The zamindars were not investing in the improvement of the land as revenue that had been fixed was so high. Okay, so they found it difficult to pay the revenue. Anyone who failed to pay the revenue lost his zamindari and were sold off at auctions organized by the company. Okay, so they have to sell away the lands to the British East India Company. Okay, by the 19th century the prices in the market rose, the prices raised, and the cultivation slowly expanded. So there was an increase in the income of the zamindars, but no gain for the company since the revenue demand had been fixed permanently. Okay, so as I said earlier, this is a permanent agreement. Okay, so even though they found many profit, they didn't give a part of that profit to the British East India Company. Even then, the zamindars did not have an interest in improving the land as they could give out the land to tenants and get rent. Okay, they gave the land to the tenants. The tenant, the people who stay in rent. Okay, whereas in villages the cultivator found the system oppressive. The rent he paid to the zamindar was high. Okay, so this is the common people point of view. Okay, and his right on the land was insecure. Okay, whenever he may be taken away from his job to pay the rent, he had often take a loan from the money lender, and when he failed to pay the rent he was evicted from the land. Evicted, now he was sent away from the land. So now let us discuss about the Ryotwari system or the Munro system. In the south, the new system was devised known as the Ryotwari system. It was tried by Captain Alexander Reed, was later developed by Thomas Munro. The system was gradually extended all over south. Okay, Reed and Munro noticed that in south there were no zamindars. The settlement had to be made directly with the cultivators. Okay, that means the landlords or the people who produced the crops. Okay, so these people were called as, their cultivators were called as ryots. Their fields had to be carefully and separately surveyed before the revenue assessment was made. Munro thought that the British should act as paternal father figures. So here the condition of the ryots were not better than the condition of the peasants in the previous zamindari system. The only difference was that he paid directly to the government. Okay, so there in the previous system, that is in the permanent settlement, he paid taxes to the zamindars, and from the zamindars the taxes were collected by the British government. So, unable to fulfill the high revenue demands, the poor ryots fled to the cities. So, now we shall discuss about the Malwari system. Okay, a new system is devised instead of the permanent settlement. By the early 19th century, the company officials wanted to change the system of revenue. In the northwestern provinces of the Bengal, Mackenzie devised the new system which came into effect in 1822. Okay, so this system was introduced by Holt Mackenzie. Okay, under his directions, the collectors went from village to village, inspecting the land, measuring the fields, and recording the customs and rights of different groups. The estimated revenue of each plot within a village was added up to collect the revenue that each village or mahal had to pay. Here, Mahalwari system. Mahal represents the village. Okay, this demand was to be revised periodically, not permanently fixed. Okay, so this system or this demand was not permanently fixed. This is periodically revised. Okay, the charge of collecting the revenue and paying it to the company was given to the village headman rather than the zamindar. Here, in southern parts of India, we had headmen in villages, na. So they collected the taxes. This system came to be known as Mahalwari settlement. Not only in the south, in the north also there was village headmans. Okay, now let us discuss the effect of these systems. Okay, so everything was not well. Okay, so all was not well. In order to increase the income from the land, revenue officials fixed too high a revenue demand. Okay, so if too high revenue is fixed na, how the people will pay? Yes, so this didn't work well. The peasants were unable to pay. Ryots fled the countryside. They left their villages and they fled the countryside. Okay, many villages were deserted. Okay, in many regions, the officials had imagined that the new systems would transform the peasants into rich farmers. Okay, so the officials who laid these laws imagined that this will change the economic status of the poor peasants, but it didn't happen. So that's it up to today's class, children. Hope it is understood. We shall clarify the doubts in the online session. Thank you.